Hello everybody, welcome to 10 Minute Reviews. I'm Jason. This fuzzy one right here is Freya. She's stretchy puppy. She's making herself longer. And we're bringing you today's episode. So for today, I want to go into a different genre. We've talked about this genre in the past, but not too much. And a new author to introduce you guys to. I want to talk about Shadow Ops Control Point, which is an urban fantasy novel by Myke Cole. And it's Myke with a Y. M-Y-K-E. Shadow Ops Control Point. Now, this is an actual series. I just want to talk about the first book. Each book in the series, while characters are recurring throughout the series, each book in the series is almost an independent story within the world that he has built that may have a few things that have been that affected it from previous books, and then characters might show back up, but tends to focus on different characters as well. Absolutely fantastic urban fantasy series. Now, in this case, as I talk about the world, in this case, it's not the typical urban fantasy where I say, the world is just look outside the window, it's our world, or our world adjacent, just with some supernatural stuff. No, in this case, the world has fundamentally changed, has changed in a massive way. And it's almost a superhero series, except that the superpowers are magic. They're magic based. So you've got your characters that are out there flying and shooting flames, but those are pyromancers. Or, you've got your characters out there flying and controlling weather. Well, those are your aeromancers. And you've got these different forms of magic, and they have fundamentally changed, and the entire world has been affected by these changes and this eruption of abilities and of powers, to where entire laws have been written about it, and they have entire branches of the military that are devoted just to the abilities, just to the powers, either to controlling them or to fighting wars that are going on between countries, between governments, even just between terrorists and your powers. Now, what's interesting about it is that while you've got all of these powers, some of them are not allowed. There's some very, very rare powers. And that's where you almost get into almost a dystopian kind of thing with this series, where just the sheer existence of a certain power immediately makes you a criminal under a death sentence, basically. Or at least that's the impression right near the beginning. Basically, it makes you a criminal under a death sentence right away. There's no trial. There's no help. There's no appeal. There's nothing you can do. Something completely beyond your control. You suddenly have a power that shows up, and immediately you are under a death sentence. That actually exists in this world. And what you've got is you've got an army officer. What was his name? Oscar Britton. Army officer Oscar Britton. That suddenly basically just pops with an ability, because the magic can come at any time. He believes he believes he has no magic, and then suddenly has magical power pop up. But his power, he's a portomancer. He is able to create portals between distances, as is eventually learned, between dimensions, between worlds, and control those portals. And you can kind of understand in a way how dangerous it is, because that particular ability, as they use it, the portals are not stationary, by the way. So he basically can create discs that can cut through anything, if you think about it that way, and he can move them with his mind. So he's definitely dangerous. But he's an army officer. He's a loyal man. He's a loyal army officer. But as soon as he pops with his power, he realizes, he knows right away, this is a forbidden power. So even reporting his power, not reporting your power, not reporting your magic, is against the law. But what do you do when you've got a magical ability that's against the law? You are supposed to report the emergence of your magic, but if you report the emergence of your magic, you're going to disappear. If you don't report the emergence of your magic, you're a criminal. Catch-22. What are you going to do? That by itself, that law by itself is going to make criminals. It's going to make terrorists in a way. So, of course, he doesn't want to turn himself in, but he's loyal. He's a loyal soldier. So he doesn't know what to do, and eventually he is captured. And that's where that's where Oscar Britton discovers that he's not necessarily under a death sentence, although kind of. We have an I don't want to say control. We have an outpost in another world that's in another dimension, and that's where the most powerful magical criminals are sent that might still have some potential. They are sent to this other world to get trained almost as shock troopers because we're in a battle on this other world as well, and it's much worse than on our world because it's, in a way, this other world is almost analogous of hell. You've got your winged demons and there's a lot of fire and molten lava and just deadly. This whole world is deadly. And we've got this little outpost there. There's other outposts further away, held by other countries and other magical beings such as Rakshasa, stuff like that. But the U.S. has this one outpost, and Oscar Britton ends up getting sent there. Now, he still wants to be a soldier. He still wants to be a good soldier and hope that he can make something out of the power that he has been given. And as things progress and how his mindset is affected and changed, colored, and things that go along would be giving up some spoilers, and I don't really want to give up. Now, I know it sounds like when I mention things like dystopian and stuff like that this could be a drier read. It's not. It's not. The Shadow Ops series it's very, very, very action-driven, very character-driven. It's definitely fast-moving. It's fantastic. Myke Cole writes in an engaging, witty, and quick way. You don't find yourself bored. You don't find yourself waiting for the next bit of action. If there is exposition in there, that wouldn't surprise you if a little bit of action pops up right in the middle of the exposition, but it's engaging you, it's interesting, it's fascinating, and it's actually helping you understand more about it and get to the next bit of action. Awesome, awesome, awesome series. After you guys hit the like and subscribe buttons, you got to check it out. You got to check out Shadow Ops. Control Point is the first book by Myke Cole. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.